Hello, I'm Josh George. I'll be giving my Week 5 college football predictions right after the intro. So, how was last week? I was 8-4, trying to do better this week, starting with the Thursday game, Navy at Memphis. Could be a really good game. I think the head coach of Navy, whose last name I can't pronounce, Ken Nortuma-Latola. I think he is the reason Navy has a chance to win. I know the FPI gives Memphis an 80% chance to win this game, and if you look at it, if you've seen these two teams play, it looks like Memphis is almost by far the better team, but their quarterback White has to play his best game in this. He hasn't looked good in some of the times I've watched him against Ole Miss and things, and that Navy offense is hard to prepare for. Preparing for it on a short week, even extra hard. So I went ahead and picked Navy to get the Thursday night win. I have Navy 24-22 over Memphis. Now Texas Tech comes to Norman to face the Oklahoma Sooners. Lincoln Riley gets to face off with head coach Matt Wells at Texas Tech. He was a really good coach at Utah State. It's a kind of a big game. I don't know. Texas Tech didn't look like they were going to fulfill all of their potential against Arizona. And Jalen Hurts is living up to and beyond his potential. They'll score 50, but how will Grinch's defense fare against a good Texas Tech defense? I have them putting up 20. So I have the Sooners over the Red Raiders 50-20. Washington State at Utah in Sac Lake City. Well, both teams coming off a loss, trying to do better, trying to improve from last week. Washington State looked terrible against UCLA. Utah did not look great against USC, but Utah, like I said, Sac Lake City, 70 linemen returned from last season. Really good team, really going to pursue Anthony Gooden at quarterback. He's not exactly Gardner Minshew. Mike Leach will have this team ready to play after the loss, though, so I'm sure they'll have their offensive. I'm sure the offense will be looking really good. I'm sure that it's going to be a game that you have to score at least 30 to win, but I have Utah winning 31-30. Now, these are two 3-1 teams in the Big Ten, Michigan State and Indiana. I think there are two teams that could really have a chance. I mean, that it could be a toss-up game. I think it's kind of a 50-50. It's who prepares better, who's kind of got the better game plan. I feel like Indiana's game plan, run it with Steve Scott III. He's averaging 4.6 yards per carry. And for Michigan State, trust your defense and lean on Brian Lewerke at quarterback. I mean, when it comes down to it, though, what made my pick was the talent discrepancy. If I look at the 2-4-7 talent composite, Michigan State ranked 30th, Indiana ranked 59th. I went with Michigan State finding a way to win in the fourth quarter, something that they haven't been good at this season. But I have Michigan State 27, Indiana 13. To the game in Arlington, the Southwest rivalry. I think it's going to be a close game because it is a big rivalry, and Arkansas actually, believe it or not, leads the rivalry 41-31 with 3 ties, even though A&M has won the last 7, make it 8. Kelvin Mond is going to look good in this game, and Arkansas lost to San Jose State. I have Texas A&M 31, Arkansas 27. Ole Miss at Alabama. Man, when I look at the two jerseys and the eye test and things, this is one of those that, and the brands, and I just know the way Ole Miss is playing and the way Alabama's playing, I have the Tide 45-13. Now this game I think is more interesting than the other game. Clemson at North Carolina. Mac Brown started 2-0. He's lost the last 2. He's 2-2. Now he gets a shot at Clemson. He gets to show the real progress of the program. Can they compete? Take it into the fourth quarter. They've been number one in the ACC in fourth quarter production. I just don't know that they can get into the fourth quarter. I've never picked a game right this season when picking a North Carolina game. I picked 4 and I've lost. I've picked against them and I've lost. So Clemson will clearly win this game because I am picking Clemson. Or North Carolina will clearly win this game because I am picking Clemson 45-17. Now, Virginia at Notre Dame. Virginia has kind of played down to their opponents like they did to Old Dominion, but they're really a team that can play up to the big games, and Bryce Perkins has definitely played his best games against the big opponents, so I think they're going to stay in this one. And Brian Kelly at Notre Dame is now 1-18 as an underdog when he's coaching at Notre Dame, and that's not good. But I picked Notre Dame 21-14. The next game on the slate, in Jordan-Hare, Auburn taking on Mississippi State. You've got the senior quarterback for Mississippi State, who's looked really good, Tom Stevens, and he's got a good running back with them, Kalen Hill. So that's a good duo. They're going up against Bo and Joe, and it's in Jordan-Hare. For those reasons, I like Auburn in a close one. I have Auburn winning 28-24. Now, to a game in the Big 12. Baylor in Waco against Iowa State. I was about to count Iowa State out of the Big 12 race, the way they've looked in their first couple of games, but then they put up 76 against UL Monroe, and Brock Purdy looked on fire, and he might just be on fire. So I'm sure Charlie Brewer will have something to say about it. I'm sure it will be a Big 12 quarterback duel, but when it's all said and done, I like Iowa State 35-30. Now, my upset pick of the week. I looked at this and I said USC getting 8 points. I definitely like the points in that one. Who will win outright? I can't tell you. Both of these teams have been so topsy-turvy, but I can tell you one thing. It's going to be Washington's defense against USC's offense. Washington's defense is only allowing 18.25 points per game, where USC is scoring 34.3 points per game. But I like the points for sure. Not going to pick an outright winner in this one because it's just one of those games that could go either way. It's going to come down to when USC's on offense. Now, the game of the week. Ohio State at Lincoln. How good is Scott Frost's team? They should have beat Colorado, probably. They didn't look great against South Alabama, but Ohio State, a team that can score some points. In the first game, they scored 45, second game 42, third game 51, and 76 this week. So I am counting on that offense to find a way to win the big games on the road. They'll score at least 38, and I have Ohio State 38-23. I am Josh George. This is Week 5 College Football.